Hey y'all, good afternoon. It is Friday, June 17th, and I am back on trail. As you know, I had 6 or 7 days off there. Went into the city, got to visit my daughter, her boyfriend, and then took the flight down to Asheville. My wife had a party. We had closed on our house, and then I flew back to New York and visited with some other friends, as well as my daughter again, and I met her boyfriend George's father, who lives in the city. I'd never met him before, so that was nice. And he took us out to dinner at the Harvard Club, and yeah, I got to do a lot of stuff, just eating out and meeting up with friends. Got to go to a Yankees game, and watched the NBA Finals last night when Golden State beat the Celtics. Just caught up on the news. It was just a nice rest period, both physically and mentally. Very much needed. I'm glad I did it. But yeah, I got back to New York and I caught the train back out of Brooklyn over to the city, and then picked up New Jersey Transit, which takes me back out here to Harriman State Park. And I'm back on trail, headed north. So probably we'll get maybe 10 to 12 miles. It's already after noon today, but we'll see how it goes. I have a couple of options, and I didn't want to push it too much just because, well, my legs are not used to this after a week. So anyway, we're back at it. Thanks for everybody for tuning back in, and hey, let's get going again. As you may recall, I've heard of coyotes a lot at night. And here in New York, there are two theories of how the eastern coyote got here. The first explanation is that they were here before the Europeans arrived. Then the clearing of the forest for farms and homes forced them to retreat to unsettled areas of the Northeast.
The return of wilderness with reforestation in the 1900s then brought them back. The second and more widely accepted hypothesis is that eastern coyotes are a relatively new species in New York, that they were originally in central North America and they naturally extended their range in response to human changes to the land. Evidence indicates that they reached New York in the 1930s by passing north of the Great Lakes and moving eastward. Either way, they have been here since the 1930s and firmly established since the 1970s. And after hearing a group of coyotes howl, you might think that the woods are just overflowing with them. But they do not form packs like the wolves. Instead, they organize as a family unit. The male and female parents who mate for life and their pups from the current year make up the family. And they will defend their territory of 2 to 15 square miles against other coyotes. They are opportunistic omnivores, either eating small animals or plants. They can be active either at night or day. They can adapt and live either in the woods or in urban areas. And they were here either thousands of years ago or they migrated here in the 1930s. But either way, they are here to stay.
Hey y'all, so day 112 has come to an end here, and I made it here to Fingerboard Shelter. It's a nice stone shelter, and to be honest, there's not many places to tent. It's really rocky here, as you can see behind me, a lot of boulders. and a lot of roots. So I'm probably gonna just end up sleeping in the shelter tonight. There's a few campsites here, tent sites, but they've already been taken by some weekend section hikers. So yeah, I'll just stay in the shelter. But interestingly, about 2 miles into my hike today, I ran into my old friend Gus. I don't know if you remember him or not, but he and I hiked together back in North Carolina and into Virginia. And it was he and I who got caught in that snowstorm in Grayson Highlands, and we ended up going backwards, southward for a couple of miles and hitchhiking, get off the mountain, and then found an inn there at Grayson Highlands and stayed there in the back. Real trail magic. And then I left the following day, and he had to wait on new shoes. So we haven't seen each other in about 700 miles. So it's funny how that works out. So he and I hiked together today here to the shelter. And it was a tough day. I only did 10 miles, but we went through this straight up bouldering and then straight down. It was only 0.3 miles, but it took us an hour to do that. It's called the Agony Grinder, and it was every bit of that. So yeah, it was a real wake-up call to my legs, having been off trail now for 7 days. But got through it. It got a lot hotter than they predicted. It hit 93 degrees on my temperature gauge thermometer that I have on my backpack. And but we did get trail magic about 4 miles from here yesterday. A nice couple from Louisiana, section hiking, decided to do some trail magic. And they had hot dogs and cold drinks and tangerines and cookies and all kinds of stuff. So real shout out to the nice folks down from Gonzales, Louisiana. I think his name was Swamp Irish or Irish Swamp, and hers was Sugar Gal. So yeah, thanks to y'all for the nice trail magic. And that's it. I'm gonna turn in here in a minute after I eat some dinner and see how it goes tomorrow. So hang in there with me, and we'll see you in the morning. Bye, y'all.